Okay, we have several boards that we have positions that expired this month. So let me just grab all my papers here and we'll start with the seniors. I did send an email to all of you outlining my proposal, listing all those that have applied and so forth. So on the senior advisory board, we had 4 seats that expired. Lee Ammons, Blaine Webster seat, Colette Presswich, and Marcia Young. And Marcia Young reapplied for her position. It would be my proposal that we move alternate members Reneva Lemon and Laurie Gilbert into 2 of those 4 positions, and add Rick Tatton as the 4th in the regular position.
Don't you have to be a senior citizen?
I think he's over enough.
The Rick Tatton? I'm just kidding. Sorry. Go ahead.
There's gray there. I see it. And then on the alternate members would be Sydney Ellingford and Linda Middleton.
You're retaining Marcia, correct?
And Marcia would be retained.
She's 3 plus we're retaining.
So the 4 that are going off would be replaced for Neva, Laurie, Rick, and Marcia.
Oh,
yeah, Marcia stays.
Yeah, she's
She's the only one that reapplied.
She's the only one that reapplied.
Yeah. All right. And then you're picking up Linda.
And then we moved
Sydney
2 of the alternates, Reneva Lemon and Laurie Gilbert, into regular positions.
Yep.
And then Rick Tatton as a regular position, and then Linda Middleton and Sydney Ellingford.
Are these alternates? Do they vote on stuff? I mean,
They don't vote
unless you don't have a quorum.
Unless we have one of the.
That's what I meant. Do
So
the
they're
alternates
asked to
get to
attend.
vote?
They do if there's somebody else not there.
Like the planning commission.
And basically they just have to decide who gets to do that, whether they
The chairman will ask one of them to.
or draw a straw or something.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make the motion that we accept Mr. Davis's recommendations for Senior Advisory Board as outlined.
I would recommend or suggest that we appoint alternate number 1 and alternate number 2.
Okay.
That's
So you
fine.
have a first position,
Did
second
you have
position kind of thing. You have a particular preference or?
Let's put Sydney Ellingford as number 1 and Linda Middleton as number 2.
Okay.
So
Is the motion still stands?
Motion still stands.
A motion by Mr. Crittenden, seconded by Mr. Farrell. Any discussion on the motion? Not, we'll vote. Mr. Crittenden.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries.
Okay, so let's go to Board of Adjustment real quick. We had 1 regular member seat, Jay Eckersley, it's expired, and he has reapplied, and I recommend that he be placed as a regular member. And then we have 1 regular member seat that's open right now, so I would recommend that we place Ezra Segura from the associate position to that regular member position. And we are advertising for an additional associate member.
So then you fill that.
So
And so
that
when we
takes
get
care of everyone who's applied.
who's applied,
Okay. And we've got a full quorum.
and we have a full quorum,
Mr.
plus 1
Chairman,
alternate.
I'll make the motion we accept the manager report and recommendations on the Board of Adjustment to appoint the equity and Ezra Patero.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Farrell, second by Mr. Good. Any further discussion on the motion? Vote. Mr. Crittenden.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries.
I might note that when we ask for applications, we ask for them current. There may be something that somebody's applied years
In the
ago.
past or
We don't
something.
carry them forward, we apply current again. And if they call up and say, can you use we can do that, we can do that, but we want that
So
to be
you
a
keep them,
current.
but you don't put them in active file until they request.
Right.
Okay.
Do you get a resume or application, or what do you usually get?
There's an application, and then with the application, we get all kinds of things. People can supply different types of information. I think I've got one here on the seniors. It's about
I
4
really
pages.
appreciated the email we got outlining these ahead of time. Is there any way to see the applications or the letters? 'Cause sometimes I don't even know who these people are. It would just be nice to know the little bit of information they give you.
You bet. I will be glad to include those.
Okay.
Remember,
I don't know if they can be part of our on-base or
Well,
Dropbox folder that we share
our
or
plan,
something.
we can't have any communication Mr. Davis.
No, I know. I know,
So he presents.
I've
but at
been-
least we would be able to look them over before.
I've been thinking that we need a more formal way to handle applications and approvals, interviews, and those types of things where appropriate. And so in the next while, I'm going to come up with some ideas. One of them would be that I would like, for instance, if it's the tourism board, I would like Ryan to get the applications and Ryan to get all the information and put together and give to me rather than our office doing all of them, because we're doing stuff that, and we don't, it's pretty hard for me to follow about 60 seats that may or may not, or maybe 100 seats that may or may not be open. And so, you know, for the Planning Commission and Board of Adjustments and JSPA, that's Doug's department. And if he can get me the information and advertise and get the applications and get it to me, that would make it a lot easier than I could take the time to whittle through them. Sometimes we don't have enough applications, but in some instances we do. I'd like to set up a more formal type of interview process if needed. There's some other things that could be done, and so I'm going to put some ideas together. I'll be getting them to you. I haven't implemented any of them yet.
Yeah, Nathan, I'm not trying to, Kendall's comment, I'm not trying to have any.
No, but you just like to understand.
I know that.
I read through that email yesterday and I Facebook stalked some people because I didn't know half of them, you know, and I hate to say it that way, but I thought, well, I'm supposed to be making
You have to.
recommendations on these people, and maybe you guys know more folks than I do, I don't know.
Well, there have been times that we've struggled to get enough applicants.
Yes.
There's also been other times where
Got
we
more.
went into closed session to discuss, you know,
Yeah.
if someone doesn't know, since it's personnel, to go into closed session to discuss certain applications, so.
I can't Facebook stalk Greg, so if
That's
it's
right.
in my,
Instagram, but not.
yeah.
but not-
Why didn't, I guess I'm,
Oh,
I
no.
For me,
don't have an Instagram.
I have felt it's a conflict of interest if I recruit to any of these.
Absolutely.
Because I'm making the recommendations, so I'm kind of relying on other people to, I mean, we've had notices for some of these boards that run literally for a year without anything.
And we as a council can absolutely do that. If we know a position's open, we can go to people that we think would be good and say, hey, go apply.
Yeah.
That's-
I really feel it's a big conflict if I do that.
Absolutely.
And so that's why that's one of the reasons I'd like a better, more formal process. In the past, it's been a different animal than it is now. It's becoming a much different thing now, so.
Mike, thanks for approaching it that way. Because like you said before, we're a smaller county, we had a hard time getting people to apply, but we're starting to get to the point to where a more formal process is going to be required.
Well, and with that process, because there's a lot more people that are here, we don't know a lot of the people. In the past, we kind of knew everybody. And so it was, oh yeah, you know, there were easy decisions to make. And now we don't know a lot of the people that apply. We don't know what their capabilities or anything are. So we've got to come up with something different.
How do we advertise now? Does it go in the wave or is it just online?
We've just been doing it online. Yeah, it gets expensive as you run it week after week after week after week. Maybe there's something that we could come up with to say, well, let's put it in. If we have something, we put one in when we start the process in the wave for a week, but then we keep it on the website or something. I don't know. We've got to come up with some ideas to reach out a little
I mean, do we
more.
always have board positions open? Is it pretty much like,
I would say
Throughout
that
the year?
probably most of the boards, there's an opening here or there on most of them that we haven't filled.
But a question.
There's thousands of people on Facebook and you could post for free. So I'm just saying that I think putting it on your county government Facebook page and then people see it and share it, that's really how a lot of
That might
people.
be one of the better
And it's
ways to
free.
get out there.
It's just, you know, and there's tons of
We
people.
have a county government page.
We did.
Yep.
we got a Twitter?
It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, great, yeah.
Yeah, let's.
I'm just saying that's where everybody is.
I'm gonna try and come up with a little more formal plan. And I'll run it by all of them, so we'll all get some input on it, so everybody can kind of talk about it and see what they think on it. The next one on the Planning Commission, we have 3 regular positions that expired. We have Kimberly Cook for the Wallsburg area, Gerald Hayward of Midway, and Lou Giles of Heber. Kimberly Cook is the only one that reapplied, and I'm recommending that we reinstate her. And then I would recommend that we take Associate Member Mark Hendricks and Associate Member Wendell Rigby and put them into the other 2 regular positions. And then I've advertised to fill the other 2 associate positions.
So one of those at Midway.
Mark Hendricks.
Yeah, Mark Hendricks is Midway, and Wendell Rigby is Heber.
That gives us a good,
So it's almost a wash that way. And I tried kind of hard on the Planning Commission to get some representation regionally so that we make sure we have input from different areas.
So Wendell and Mark bring a really excellent expertise to the Planning Commission. Mark, I think, is an attorney. Wendell is an engineer. They have some really good insight into that group.
Awesome. Okay, we have our recommendations. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion that we accept Mr. Davis's recommendations on Planning Commission as outlined.
Okay. Second. Motion by Mr. Crittenden, second by Mr. Good. Any discussion on the motion? If not, we'll vote. Mr. Crittenden.
Yes.
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 Thank
Motion
you.
carries. Thank you.
Okay, the last one I have is the JSPA Planning Commission. We have 3 regular, well, 2 regular and 1 alternate position that expired. Steve Isowitz, which is a recreational rep, I guess is what it's termed. Doug Rosecrans as a citizen appointee, and then Craig Hahn as a landscape architect.
Which one's the alternate?
Craig Hahn. And all 3 have reapplied.
Okay, any questions on these? I'm assuming your recommendation is to reappoint those 3.
Yes.
Fairly new, so. Okay. Any further discussion? If not, we'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we reappoint those to the JSPA Planning Commission.
I'll second it.
A motion by Mr. Park to accept the manager's recommendation and a second by Mr. Farrell. Any further discussion? Not, we'll vote. Mr. Crittenden.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, and then as we get applications in, we'll present those names.
Mike, did you have anything on affordable housing? Did you get any reply? I did speak to Mayor.
No, I know we talked, but I've
And
not
I've spoken
received.
to her.
I've not received anything yet.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we'll come back up to our board reports. That's be the last thing before we have our, do we have any need for a closed session that anyone's aware of this evening? If not, we'll go through our board reports and then we'll have our public hearings at 6. So we'll start with you, Mr. Park.
I don't have any.
Mr. Farrell. Mr. Crittenden.
Just quick, you probably all got this, the Wasatch County GOP Lincoln Day Breakfast is Saturday, February 24th. Tickets are $25 each. The only question I'd have, we get no discount. We can, if we choose to do so, if we want to tell him, we can pay the $25 a piece and sit together at a table of 8. That's totally up to, I know a lot of times we've done that. We've paid, they have a table designated as a county council table because we've all paid, but a lot of you bring a spouse or you sit somewhere else, so we don't always necessarily sit together anyway. What's your brothers? Do you want to just, I have no either way.
What do you guys think? We've sat together in the past, and
We ought to do a table.
I do too, if for no other reason than to buy a table.
I don't know. Danny's Democrat.
I can't go, I'm a Democrat.
We don't know
That
much there.
works.
Well,
No, I'm just, you're welcome to come. What do you mean? Doesn't matter if you're Republican or
The
not.
last 2 years I've been paying, but Ron's been going. He's been using my seat.
well,
Perfect. You pay for it, you can send whoever you want.
I will,
That's like a good way for
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
Democrat.
saying. I'm paying having on, so somebody's taking my seat, not having that.
I will contact Mr. Morgan and tell him we want a county table
Let's
and
do a table.
we'll buy 7.
However, let's just buy a table and then
Well, you know, however many pay.
we'll use some more heat like powder board pay. I'm just kidding. It's all out of our own pocket. I'm just
For the
kidding.
record, we will not be doing that.
Anyway,
All right.
I'll let him know and then if you just want to pay me and I'll get the money to him or you pay either way. That's worked pretty good.
I think we've all just paid out of our own pocket before. So.
Yeah, we have and I've collected it and gave it to him, but you,
See, Steve's writing this check right now. I'm gonna give you cash, so.
okay.
So see if Steve will
Okay,
let
so-
me sit at the table, I'll take what I'm on.
Is that all?
I have,
I'll pay the extra ticket if you have Ron sit on another table.
All right. What else you got?
again, I've talked about the other request. Did all of you receive this little flyer? I think the seniors, I don't know, do y'all get senior citizen stuff? It's got, I was gonna make a copy, I'll make a copy and throw it in your mailboxes. It's got the schedule, they got some classes coming.
You get that because you're a senior citizen now?
Yeah, and I'm on this thing, I'm helping these guys, but yeah, so anyway, just be aware of it and talk it up. It's gonna be a great thing, get started. I think evaluating what UBU and their aerial request program started 26 years ago, I think we've got as good a start as they do, or as they did, way back when they started. It's a great opportunity for seniors to take some advance, some learning and keep educating themselves and things like that. So that one, and then the last thing I had was just a reminder, we have that interlocal meeting on the 13th, February 13th. Last time we talked, we did have, Deb was going to contact and have them put on the agenda to update on bypass studies. Anybody thought of anything else? We need to, anything else we'd like to see on the agenda for that meeting?
You want to put the annexation, I mean, that's always a topic. I don't know if we could spend a lot of time or as little as we want, but
We
it's
want to
always a
talk about
topic.
that with, I guess it's between us and
Well,
That's us and
Is the
Heber.
committee doing anything on that?
who?
The committee?
Well, Mark's on it. I know Mark has had some meetings. He told me about that.
Councilman Peterson, Doug Smith, and myself met with Mayor, Mark, and Tony. And the Heber City had made a proposal. We went through some of the ideas and there were some proposed changes to that. I have now received a copy back. I haven't reviewed it. I think I received it Friday or yesterday.
I made the changes, so they're redlined for me.
So can we have that to look at this meeting? That's only a couple weeks away. Well,
Does it apply to Midway and Charleston?
probably not. Interlocal's
It's kind of
interlocal.
between us. I know.
I guess we
Let
can
them know what
schedule
we're
an
doing.
additional meeting with just Heber.
Tony wanted to take that red line document to the council for their
City
work
council,
meeting.
okay.
And I asked him, we still need to get together with that extended committee, which included, I think, was it Kendall?
It was me and then I
Well,
was
Greg
out,
was
so
on
Kendall and
and
Tanner
I
for
went.
me, so.
Okay.
So it's either Greg or I, either one.
So, and Tony answered back, yes, we need to get back with that committee.
Then we can come back and go over the changes or what they're talking about.
So if any of you think in the meantime, I won't bring this up again.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's on our agenda tomorrow, that annexation, and I haven't seen a copy
The
of it.
red line that
The
he's
red lines.
referring
Oh, good.
We're going to talk about it
Good.
tomorrow.
If any of you think this, Jody Bates is the one that Heber City designated as their secretary, so I guess if you think of anything,
Give it to her. I seen an email from her. We're saying.
remember that meeting is February 13th, so I don't know when the deadline for the agenda is. It'd at least be 12 to get it out 24 hours ahead.
She's our recorder.
Yeah, has she mentioned when the deadline is that she wants agenda items for that meeting? When she sent us an email for the
Interlocal.
to have agenda items for that
Let's
meeting.
just get them to her at least by the end of the prior week, so we've got them.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, Mr. Good.
I'd like to request every special service district chairman or vice chairman to put on the agenda for each one of those meetings, or Tuesday and Thursday SSD meetings, and we have a discussion about using the cameras to just make a formal decision if we're going to use the cameras or not through the special service district.
Okay.
So you're talking the Tuesday and the
So, yeah,
Thursday meeting.
so like the JSSD and that group and fire and
Mike would need to get with the districts, you need to get with the Janet, and have it put on that one for discussion, and you do the Park and Rec.
Fire board.
So I'll get with Mike when he, or I can even talk, because I'll do Strawberry Lake.
Yeah, I'm the vice.
I'll do, oh, well, we can handle Strawberry Lake View and Strawberry Ranch, so I don't know how critical they are, but if we're doing one, we just well do them all, so same meeting. Oh, Mr. Davis.
I assume you talked with Dawn?
I talked with Tom, and he was telling me about his discussions with Dawn, and Dawn was saying, we can 75% do it 1st of February, 100% do it 1st of March.
But here's the challenge in it, is that for this meeting, we have the clerk's office that does all of this work.
Right. We'd have to have a coordination of
We have
people that...
You would need to have somebody for each district.
Right.
We told them in the first meeting after you reported, you had asked, he had come with a report. We told every one of them in the next meeting, if we're gonna do this, you have to have your own personnel trained on how to do it, because we won't have the clerk's office.
And Dawn's happy to train, that's not an issue.
Right, but they have to, I think there's been some resistance or hesitancy to train those people only because they're busy or whatever else. So we just need to make the decision.
Like the
tell them that's
JSPA
what
ones
we're
are
doing.
easier just because of one person pretty much does everything for the agendas, but it's going to be solid waste, fire, and Parks and Rec is where we really have to have some strong coordination because of the agenda software. So that presents an extra layer of challenge. I think we can do it, but
It can't be, I mean, Michelle, I don't know how hard it is, but if you, once you get it down a few times, is it pretty easy to kick it up and running, or?
Yeah. What's involved after we do it?
That's a tough question.
To put it on the file.
to put it online.
Yeah.
So it goes online, and live streams out.
Right.
And then, I think, what is it, 24 hours later, or whenever somebody has to go through, do you do it during the meeting? Do you tag it, or do you have to do it the next day?
In the morning, I'll put it on.
So the next day, somebody has to go through and timestamp and say, because like agenda item number 4 happened at 4:45.
You click on the agenda and it takes you to that part of the...
Right, so that way when somebody views it later, then they can click on that agenda, like Kendall was saying, it'll spool up right to that point where they don't have to go searching for it manually.
Yeah, I missed the November 15th meeting, and I was hoping to watch it. It took 5 or 6 days to put it up.
Well, one of the meetings, the camera was down. I don't know which
Maybe
one
that-
it was.
maybe
I might, we came in and Dawn was feverishly trying, we ended up waiting about 10 minutes.
Maybe that's the reason.
Had to start because it just wasn't working.
But
So,
usually
remember that, wasn't that November? I don't know which one
Usually
it
done on
was.
Monday at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've got a question.
please.
Can we talk about the planning commission meetings that isn't an SSD at all and it's part of the county? Is there a way we can start videotaping the planning commission meetings now?
Who is here doing minutes for planning commission besides Rick? Anyone?
No, we record them, and whoever's not presenting at the time dictates, but we don't have the video going, and that's something that Don needs to get us set up for.
And again, you'd have to...
That would be a county, if we wanted to add that, well, it would be a count, something we need to assign to a county employee, I'm assuming. Whether it's in Doug's department or the others have employees.
I've always assumed we would just get trained on it, and then before the meeting starts, we would start it.
Okay.
I don't know what that entails.
Is there any
Doug or
objection?
Luke, you guys, either one of you guys could probably get going.
Is there any objection to doing that? Mike, do you have any issue? Doug, do you have a problem with it at all? or-
I think it's as important as the council.
Yeah, I just want to know if there's any feedback. I mean, if there's a reason not to.
So we've got the system. If it's just a matter of getting a few people up to speed, we ought to be using it. So, and I'm still not going to wear a tie unless you make it. So,
You look beautiful.
thanks.
Sorry, just one more thing. On the videos, you can't see any presentations because there's 2 cameras. Okay.
That's tough.
And then sometimes if Mike's over on the side or the county attorney's on the side, you can't hear them, you can't see them.
We try and...
So I'm just letting you know.
Folks to come up and state their name and whatever, but we'll do a better, we need to do a better job. So.
I noticed on the video, Mike Street is actually the only one you can't see, and I'm assuming he did that on purpose.
No.
I think he needs to sit right here by the
I think it's been moved now.
Okay, the one time I looked, I'm like, that's the only person we don't see. We can see Doug over there.
I'm sure it was completely by accident. That's all right.
All right, thank you.
Hey, I was going to ask, associated with that, have we approved to do the upgrade to where that, like we were gonna do the televisions here and all that stuff?
We've now gone through 3 vendors. We've put out RFPs, they've responded, and then they die.
Huh.
3.
Okay.
And
But we
so,
approved it and everything, it's just a matter of getting it done.
so today, when our system got torn up today by the carpet people, we had to call Hoyt to come in and help us fix it. He came in and Don expressed his frustration to him because one of those people was recommended by him. And so we now have a new person, and this is the person that has done like the Harriman City Hall, does a lot of LDS churches. They work as a consultant. So you pay them a percentage like an architect. And then they hire the people to put it in. So we're going to try this and get a price out of them and see where it falls. But that is the challenge. Tracy is exactly right. Our systems aren't integrated. So our sound systems, our camera systems, none of it is integrated. And so even for you, if you don't speak into the mics that are on the, those mics don't matter. Those mics matter for everybody out there.
Unless you say a bad word and then they pick it right up.
But we have multiple issues of trying to integrate this old system with that. So hopefully this would address that, as well as the presentations would then, but in doing that, then we'll have to have the ability to have those on your desks as well. And it's an integrated system. So we'll be getting more information. Now hopefully we'll get some response now. This has been a 1.5 years of non-response. We've given them a couple more months and a couple more months, and
they've got too much good work in new buildings going on.
I guess that's what it is. I don't know.
Okay.
Do we know where we are with, hold on, sorry. Do we know where we are with the ability to download? Can people download the meetings yet?
I talked to Don about that, but Tracy?
I was supposed to get with him. He says there's a way to do it. I've tried to figure it out on my own, and I haven't been able. That's why I'm still doing this, quite honestly, because I haven't been able to figure it out. So
let me check on that, because that's not my expertise, but I will.
You give us a report back next meeting or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So listen, what you put on the screen is a feed. Why can't you feed it into the camera?
Well, I think it's because it's not integrated right now. It's totally
But
separate.
that would happen when, what might be that?
We have to have a totally integrated system. Right now, all we have is a projector and a plug to hook into the projector.
We have the
It
visualizer.
doesn't hook into the video system. It doesn't hook into the computer system.
Like 4 different systems, right? They have sound.
It's all piecemeal, Ron. Ron, it didn't all go in at the same time. If we were to wipe everything out and start from scratch, we could.
But when you get,
And that's the plan.
It'd be a lot more.
what Mike's talking about, that might work too.
That's the plan.
The visuals are, of course,
Right,
we
it'll
don't
go
even
into
have.
one system when it's done then.
When you get all perfected, maybe the city will look at this, but, I mean, Wayne always up presses us, so it's hard to compete.
And everybody would like those meetings. You guys are so handsome.
Yeah. Okay, anything else, Mr. Good?
No, that's all.
Mr. Nelson.
I forgot, just for dates for you, again, we talked about the Lincoln Day, the caucus is Tuesday, March 20th.
This is the Republican Party caucus.
Republican Party caucus, Tuesday, March 20th. And the county convention is Tuesday, April 17th.
This is the Republican County Convention.
Probably at 7, because we're pigtailing with Summit County, and I think they go earlier.
What did you say? What day on
March
convention?
20th for the caucus, and the convention's April 17th. They're both on Tuesdays.
Okay. All right, I have 2 things. Received a letter from, and I need to get a copy to the clerk's office from Town of Wallsburg on